tomorrow, or what are you doing?
I was just making sure I had on the.
We are back on the record. It is 3:37 p.m.
Deborah Frazier has provided us with some of her credit card statements. And, for example, and I'm not going to, why don't you ever mark that one, but not this particular one. But one I reviewed had a $500 charge for flowers out of Taylor, Michigan. Have you known Deborah Frazier to buy flowers for a crusade or meeting or whatever?
No.
Is it typical that flowers are purchased for the stage or whatever?
Well, I mean, it depends. We purchase flowers for certain or special events, but I'm not sure why she would have purchased flowers.
Okay. But flowers are something that are used to on the stage when you have these gatherings?
Not usually, no. They're
No.
for just special, like, celebratory events.
How much would you say that for that kind of an event that JMMI would spend on flowers?
Honestly, I don't know. I would have to look at the budget.
Okay.
I don't know.
This statement from Mrs. Frazier's Discover card from December 14th, 2014 to January 13th, 2015 has some items on it I'm going to ask you about. On January 1st, there's a charge for Hooters of Taylor, Michigan, and it's approaching $60, so it's obviously for more than one person. Did you go to Hooters with Mrs. Frazier?
No,
Do you know of anybody from JMMI that did?
I wouldn't know.
Were you in Taylor on that day?
I was.
And are you aware that Mrs. Frazier went to Hooters?
I was not.
Okay. Are you aware if she gave her credit card to somebody to go to Hooters?
No, I don't know.
Okay. On January 3rd, in Dearborn, Michigan, which is next door to Taylor, there's a charge at TGI Fridays for almost $170. Would you agree that's not one person's meal?
I
There's
would
more.
agree.
Okay. Do you know of Mrs. Frazier ever taking other people out to dinner and paying for it?
I wouldn't know.
Has she ever taken you out to dinner?
She's never taken me, no.
Do you know of anybody she's taken out to dinner from JMMI?
Honestly, I don't know if she did, or I know she's gone out to dinner with people, but I don't know who's paid. So I
Okay.
couldn't say.
There's another charge from January 11th, Mangiano's, it's for over $170. Do you know of anybody from JMMI or yourself that went out to dinner with her?
I don't know.
Do you know if Pastor Taylor ever goes out to dinner with her?
No, they don't.
They don't?
No.
How often would you say she sees him?
For conferences and crusades and special events that he's had in the past, I wouldn't.
And that's when there's a large number of people?
Correct.
To your knowledge, have they spent much time one-on-one or small group?
No.
No?
No.
To your knowledge, does he specifically counsel her personally?
I couldn't say.
You don't know?
I wouldn't know.
Is that something Mr. Taylor does?
He's a pastor, so yes.
Okay, you just aren't aware of when that would have happened with Mrs. Frazier.
I wouldn't know.
Okay. On December 30th, excuse me, there are two charges from Jim's Tuxedos and Menswear in Southgate, which is also near Taylor. One for $73, one for about $135. Do you have any knowledge of what those purchases would be about? Obviously, Mrs. Frazier wouldn't be getting tuxedos. Do you have any knowledge of her purchasing or renting or anything of the like for somebody from JMMI?
I do actually.
Okay. What's that about?
I don't know about the two. I know about the one. I had asked her, she was out and about, and I asked her if she'd pick up my son's tuxedo, but I also gave her cash for it. I
Pick up
reimbursed her.
her son's tuxedo?
My son's tuxedo.
I'm sorry, pick up your 12-year-old?
My 12-year-old.
Wore a tuxedo?
He did.
For,
He's adorable too.
I'm sure, for their, is that the birthday celebration?
No, it's One Night with the King. It's a
One Night with the King. Isn't that?
New Year's Eve celebration.
Okay. So how much did the tuxedo that you asked her to pick up cost, and did you reimburse her?
I did reimburse her, and I think it was around 70 or 75. I think I gave her 80 for it.
Okay. And you're unaware of an additional charge approaching $135 for a tuxedo?
I'm not sure.
You don't know who that would have been?
No.
Does Mr. Taylor wear a tuxedo on that day?
He does.
Is he rented?
No.
He owns it?
He does.
There are multiple charges over January 1st, 2nd, and 3rd in Taylor for Red Roof Inn. And you know that to be a local motel.
Yes.
And if you can look at the charges, this is Deposition Exhibit number 17. They're highlighted there. Would you agree that they're for multiple rooms over the course of the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd from the printout?
It looks that way, yes.
Okay. Are you aware of Mrs. Frazier paying for rooms for anybody but herself?
I wouldn't know.
You don't know?
No.
Who would you say Mrs. Frazier primarily hangs out with, for lack of a better word, with JMMI, people from JMMI? Who are her primary buddies, so to speak?
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, she talks to everybody. I wouldn't know who her primary buddies are.
Everybody meaning on staff or volunteers?
I mean, just everybody, people who come and attend the services, everybody. She's friendly with everybody.
Okay. Have you ever heard her offer to give money or pay for somebody's hotel or meals or things like that? Have you ever seen or heard her offer to do those things?
When I asked her to pick up my son's tuxedo, I asked her if she was out. Since she was out and I was running errands, would you mind stopping by and picking that up? So I'm aware of that.
No, aside from that.
Oh, no.
Have you ever heard her say, "Oh, it's my treat, let's go out to dinner"? Or they're similar?
No, I don't. I didn't get involved in a lot of the day-to-day things, so I don't know.
Okay. Who would you say is the staff member that has had the most contact with Deborah?
I couldn't say. She talks to everybody. She's very friendly.
I know that. Would you consider her to be very generous with her funds with people around her?
I would say that she's been very generous with JMMI.
I'd agree, to her detriment. But aside from the large donations, do you have any knowledge or opinion about how generous she is with the people that she speaks with and associates with?
I couldn't say.
Okay. No other questions? The words everybody likes to hear.
Of course.
Just
take it off.
I need a hand.
Lawyer's got a few questions.
I got
All right, wait, can I ask, oh, wait a minute,
Oh,
he's
yeah,
gonna ask
hold
some.
that,
I told Michelle this, but I think you snuck out, so if we can go back on just for a second. Oh, good. I told, Ms. Brannon that I didn't have any additional questions based on the documents that we had, but obviously I just got about a 6 or 8 inch document drop that I have not had the time to go through. I'm not likely to be able to do anything meaningful with them before 9 o'clock tomorrow. And if there is something in there that I need to ask her questions about, that there may be a need for an additional session of this, but I won't know till I can go through that stuff. So I'm not asking her to come back specifically to a time today. I'm not asking her today to come back at a time in the future, but we may need to continue the deposition. I'd like to leave that open based on what I've just been given.
Oh, this is something we got from Mr. Potts you're talking about?
Right.
Oh, yeah, I don't have a problem with that.
Okay.
Okay.
I hope I don't have to, but I'm just telling you that obviously I haven't looked at any of those things.
Done. Ready?
Ms. Brannon, my name is Moeen Gadimi. I represent Deborah Frazier. Just a few questions for you to clarify your testimony. Now, part of my ignorance here, but can you tell me what tithing is?
Tithing is in Malachi 3:10. The word says that person's supposed to pay their tithes and offering. A tithe is 10% of your income or what you receive in your hands.
Now, is that mandatory or discretionary?
Well, I mean, it depends on those that want to apply the Bible and those that don't.
What do you mean by that?
Meaning, if you want to serve, if you serve God and you believe the whole Bible from Genesis to Revelation, then it's without, it's a sure word of prophecy. So, in other words, it means that yes, you need to pay your tithes.
Okay. What about benevolence? What is that?
Again, I'm not readily familiar of benevolence, but other than giftings, yes. I mean, it's something that could be used as offerings or a gift.
Would you consider both tithing and benevolence a part of religious expression?
Absolutely.
Can we just clarify? You indicated, however, that you were not aware of any benevolence fund at JMMI specifically.
Correct.
Okay. Just want to.
Sure.
Sorry.
Okay. I don't believe that was Deborah's testimony, but that's another issue. Now, you testified earlier based on counsel's representations that it seems Ms. Frazier may have violated some court orders. Do you recall saying that?
I recall agreeing when I was asked that. Did she violate that?
Have you seen any of these court orders?
I have not.
And so you wouldn't be able to say, based on your own personal knowledge, that Ms. Frazier violated any court orders, correct?
Correct.
Now, you testified earlier about a conversation you had with Ms. Frazier relative to your frustration about how JMMI was kind of wrapped up in this whole mess. Do you recall your testimony?
Correct.
And if I understood your testimony correctly, you said Ms. Frazier never said that she was going to pay JMMI's attorney fees, correct?
That's correct.
But it seems that...
I think that's a mischaracterization of the testimony. I think that Ms. Brannon testified that based on the transcript from Mr. Taylor in his comments that he was told by Ms. Brannon that Mrs. Frazier was going to contribute to the attorney fees, that if she said that and Mr. Taylor believes that she said it, then it was true then, although she may not recall it now.
But I believe what she testified to was Ms. Frazier said one thing, and what I'm going to get at is the communication between her and Mr. Taylor. But if you could clarify then, since there seems to be some disagreement, what was the nature of your conversation with Ms. Frazier relative to attorney fees for JMMI?
It was frustration that JMMI had to come up with attorney fees and had to, not just the attorney fees, but the court and providing all these documentation, and it's a lot of work. It took a lot of work from me.
So for clarification purposes, because there seems to be some confusion, did Ms. Frazier make any statements to you that she would pay JMMI's attorney fees?
It's possible. Mr. Taylor stated that I said that, and he wouldn't lie, so it's very possible.
Do you think it's possible that you may have made a miscommunication to Mr. Taylor relative to this issue?
It's possible.
I'm going to object just for the speculation and all.
It's possible.
Do you believe it's possible that Mr. Taylor may have misunderstood what you were saying?
It's possible.
And Ms. Brannon, I'd just like to go over some of these exhibits with you. I'm not going to go through everything. I'm handing to you has been marked as Exhibit 1. No problem.
Yes.
Now, did you personally prepare what is that chart present on the first page?
I did not. Exhibit 1, I did not.
Exhibit 1. Do you know who did?
Ashley Ware.
Okay. Do you have any personal knowledge as to the accuracy of what's contained on page 1?
I don't.
Okay. Could you flip to page 2? Same question. Did you personally prepare that document for JMMI?
This is a bank account statement, and no, I didn't personally prepare this.
Did you personally pull that off? I believe you probably got off a website or something. Would that be correct?
Ashley did. I did not.
Okay, so again, you have no personal knowledge as to whether that's an accurate account of what was taken off the, I assume it's Bank of America.
Correct.
Okay, and if you could flip to the 3rd page, please. Again, same questions. Did you personally prepare that statement?
I did not.
Do you know who did?
I don't.
And so you wouldn't be able to testify as to its accuracy, correct?
I would not.
Okay. Next page, please. And did you personally prepare that document?
I did not.
Do you know who did?
Ashley Ware.
And you would have no personal knowledge as to the accuracy of those statements, correct?
Correct.
I'm just going to hand you some documents just to keep everything. Okay, that works too. Ms. Brannon, I'm handing you what has been marked as Exhibit 8. Did you personally prepare that document?
Exhibit 8. No, I didn't.
And do you know who did?
I do. Ashley Ware.
Okay, and you have no personal knowledge as to the accuracy of what's contained in Exhibit 8, correct?
Correct.
Now, was this document something that was prepared just pursuant to a subpoena issued to you?
I am not sure.
Okay, so you wouldn't know if this is a document that JMMI just kind of keeps on a regular basis.
That's correct.
Okay,
What number is that?
it's number 8.
I'll keep this one aside.
Okay. Ms. Brannon, I'm handing you what has been marked as exhibit number 9-1. Did you personally prepare that exhibit?
Exhibit 9-1. I did not.
Okay, do you know who did?
Ashley Ware.
Do you have any personal knowledge as to the accuracy of what's contained in exhibit 9-1?
I do not.
And again, same question. Do you know if this is something that JMMI just kind of prepares as a regular course of its business, or was it prepared pursuant to a subpoena issued to JMMI?
I do not know.
Okay. I'm now handing you what's been marked as Exhibit 9-2. Did you personally prepare that exhibit?
Exhibit 9-2. I did not.
Okay, and do you know who did?
I do not.
And so you cannot personally test, you don't have any personal knowledge as to the accuracy of any statements contained in Exhibit 9-2, correct?
Correct.
And again, do you know if that was created pursuant to the regular course of business, or was it pursuant simply to a subpoena?
I don't know.
Okay. I'm handing you what's been marked as Exhibit 10. And let me make sure I'm understanding that correctly. Is that a list of contributions made by Deborah Frazier to JMMI
That is
during that time period?
That is correct.
Okay. Did you personally prepare that document?
I did not.
Is something like that, a detailed statement, something that JMMI regularly gives to its donors?
In January of every year, yes.
They do. Okay. But you have no personal knowledge as to the accuracy of any statements contained in that exhibit, correct?
Correct.
Okay. I'm handing you what has been marked as Exhibit 12. Did you personally prepare that document?
I did not.
Okay, do you know who did?
I don't know.
And you wouldn't be able to testify based on your own personal knowledge as to the accuracy of any statements contained therein, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
That's 13, I think I,
This is 12. I got 10, 11 here.
yeah.
I'm now handing you what has been a more efficient way you can think of doing this. I'm handing you what has been marked
I
as
tried to think of that.
yeah exhibit. I'm handing you what has been marked as Exhibit 13. Did you personally prepare that exhibit?
I did not.
Do you know who did?
I do not.
Okay, you can't testify as to the accuracy of these statements contained therein?
Correct.
Okay. You have this, Colleen? Yeah. Okay, I have no further questions.
Okay, just to clean up a little bit, deposition exhibit number 10, the detailed statement for 2014 for Deborah Frazier. Would you agree that this is a document kept in the regular course of business through JMMI?
Correct.
Okay. And I'm going to show you exhibit number 8, 9.1 and 9.2. And we subpoenaed certain documents from JMMI. And do you agree that these were produced by JMMI pursuant to the subpoena?
That is correct.
Okay. And did you ask anyone to create a document?
I did.
And who did you ask?
Ashley Ware.
And what document did you ask her to create?
Several of the documents.
And what were they?
Documents of the account. We didn't have the donors list of the top donors. It was, you asked for, I think it was like 5,000 or above.
Did you ask her to create 8.9 and 9.192?
I would have to ask Ashley if this was what she referenced in one of the things I've asked her, if this was what she, because there's no title on it, so.
Okay, for example, number 9.2, there is a caption that says Joshua Media Ministry, does it not?
There is.
And an account number?
Correct.
And that you recognize that as a bank?
Correct.
And July 1st through July 31st, 2014?
Correct.
And would you say that this, in its captions, deposits and other credits continued?
Correct.
Would you say that this is a document that's kept in the regular course of business that itemizes the activities of deposits and credits on that bank account number?
From the bank, this not through JMMI.
Okay, but you keep this document, do you not?
We ordered this document for this subpoena.
Okay, and this is the kind of this is a bank statement or document from a bank account of JMMI's?
Correct.
Okay. And do you have any reason to believe that anything on this is inaccurate?
I don't know.
You don't have any...
I mean, I don't know if there were inaccurate, things done to my knowledge, no.
Right, so you don't have any reason to believe, nobody said this is not right?
Correct.
Okay, and Ashley didn't tell you this was not right?
She did not.
Okay, and 9.1 and 8, these are documents that reference offerings, as you refer to it, for July and August of 2014?
Correct.
Okay, and in the regular course of business, does JMMI keep track of offerings from on a daily basis of what comes in?
We do.
Okay, and is that what this document reflects?
I don't know if she created this document for this subpoena.
Right,
So,
but she
okay.
does keep track, does she not?
She does.
And this,
But I don't know if it's in this format.
okay.
Yes.
But these were all documents that you turned over in the course of discovery.
Correct.
And you supervise Ashley Ware,
Correct.
and you direct what she does in terms of what her job responsibilities are?
I oversee her job responsibilities.
Okay. And so you're aware that under your supervision, she creates these documents or keeps track of these documents?
On occasion, yes. Mhm.
Okay.